It's not like holding it high enough. My backpack was perfect. I should have really just brought my backpack. Actually, I wonder if I can, what? It's not what I was gonna say, but yeah, maybe. You wanna switch? Yeah. Is your backpack like, yeah, it's pretty flat. It's that gray one, right? Okay. One sec, let me put that down. What's in the bottom of that?
Just like my pants and
apple. Actually, let's see if I can just spread it out.
Yeah,
your first aid kit. That's what's so bulky. There we go. I should have just brought my backpack because I have to do this all the time. Almost lost that.
another one that's back.
Ooh, there's a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Get this thing set on. Oopsies. I'm gonna give people a couple minutes in case they are rolling in late, and because I'm having trouble. No, I don't know what it's gonna be. Honestly. No, just give me my back, and I'll. This is why I wanted to get out here at 8:30.
Yeah, no, I understand. Do you want to try?
Nah. I'm gonna try to like take my
your
camera out of this. It's got a case anyways, so it's like. No, I don't think so. Like put air in it. Nice. All right. Okay, that'll work. That's a little bit obstructive, but that'll work. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then I can still hit the, I can kind of hit the switch button, but okay. Let's start paddling. All right, what time is it? So it's 9:10, so I guess I'll just start.
Yeah.
All right. So, hi everyone. Actually, I'll switch it for now. See my beautiful face here. God dang it. Or just the sun. But either way. So the location for this got switched. Not that I really had to say anything because nobody would know the difference. But the Mendenhall Channel or the Mendenhall Wetlands is right now completely dry. So unlike a lot of places in the Atlantic and wherever, we get like 22-foot tide swings midsummer like this, which is pretty intense. And because of that, there's really no way you can kayak out where I wanted to, but that's okay. Mostly because I realized also it would have been hard to talk about different birds I was seeing and different wildlife out there. Because just simply like, you know, this is my phone camera But out here, there's a lot of really beautiful areas to look around and to talk about. Where we are is I actually in Juneau live on an island called Douglas Island. A lot of the population of Juneau lives on this island, but we're basically up the north side of Douglas Island. So what you're seeing right now, so that way is mainland and Cary. The glacier being right over kind of those trees right there, so directly at my 12 right now. Mendenhall Glacier in Juneau. And then, so this is the Chukatch Range as you come around and see those farther mountains down there. Again, I really hope it's easier for people to see because it is super beautiful. But it's the reason I chose this area. You can see it's pretty calm. The biggest thing though is pretty much none of these rocks over here are visible ever. They are pretty much all intertidal and at only like a -0 or lower, they'll be visible. So out here we have the opportunity to kayak out to an island called Shaman Island, and at Shaman Island there's a land bridge. I can see it coming into picture now, but when we get over around this point that you can see, this near point, you'll see an island that's connected to a land bridge, and it's super beautiful out there. And we can potentially poke around in some tidal pools, see some sea stars, anemones, other cool stuff like that. If we want to do a kind of nature roundup here in terms of birds, I've seen literally every type of seabird out this spot. Actually, like last night I was looking at some photos and looking into my lens and saw or realized that some of the seabirds that I thought were one thing were actually another. I mean, you can see everything, but I'll do a little rundown. Really common species, marbled murrelets, and ancient murrelets, as well as sometimes kitslets murrelets, which is the greatest name for any animal ever. But you also get surf scoters, you get harlequin ducks, you get, why am I blanking on a couple names? Teals, like green teals. You get really like just all sorts of different like types of scoters. You also get obviously like some of the more common seagulls and birds like that. You get a lot of Bonaparte's gulls and kittiwakes, a lot of kittiwakes out here, although typically you see them more in the northern parts. But one of the biggest things we're looking for out here is spouts. It would be really, really cool for me to see some whales today. Even if they're just in the far distance, whales here are extremely common, and I reasonably believe that they're really enjoying the fact that there's no cruise ships up here. People joke about, oh, well, you know, it's not like they know that the crews aren't coming up. Well, they definitely do. When they start coming north from wherever, or some of them come from Japan, so start heading east towards us, instantly they know that those big boats are around from miles and miles away. And I'm sure for the first time in a very long time, they didn't hear them this year and are excited, as well as the ones that live near Juneau, like in the very close proximity of Juneau, get just harassed unbelievably by whale watching boats. And so they definitely, there's a couple bubble netting pods and stuff that hang out here right in these areas by the shorelines and bubble net the huge herring stocks. and they get just unbelievably harassed. So I'm sure they're extremely excited that there's none of that this year, at least so far. And most places are canceling their cruises for the rest of the year. So it's pretty cool. But if I don't know how you would see them, and I wouldn't, but if anybody sees a spout or hears one, let me know. It's the best game to play out here. But I'm gonna turn the camera around again now because we're approaching kind of the area. Hi, Aunt Libby. Happy birthday yesterday, by the way. Let's see. So that island is the island I was talking about. I'm sorry that the camera is a little bit obstructed. It was hard for me to set it up in the spot. And hopefully not losing reception or anything. That's the biggest thing. But that's the island I was talking about. It's called Shaman Island. As you can see, there's people walking on the land bridge. We went clamming out there a couple weeks ago. Found a bunch of cockles and butter clams and scallops and all sorts of tasty things. But it's a really beautiful island. So we're just gonna go around the back side of that. You can approach it like just from a normal trail. But it's honestly easier to approach it this way. There's a Kitslit's murrelet, or actually, nope, a marbled murrelet right over there. Again, sorry, I know it's really hard to see the things I'm talking about, especially with birds and stuff like that. But they're cool. They're like some of my favorite birds. The reason being they're just like super cute when they're playing in the water. They're diving birds. And so they will just kind of sit there and float around until they find something or until they're disturbed. And then they just instantly do this big, like funny looking dive and go pretty deep for a number of seconds. And it's fun to watch, especially if you're in a boat, because they'll act like they're not really caring at all. And then all of a sudden, like 15 of them will just bloop and dip below the surface. But as for the waters here, so I made a little post yesterday. Oh, what are those? So it's so hard to see birds on the water because they all reflect off and just look black. I think that those are common eiders, but I can't tell. Anyways, I made a post yesterday about the weather because I didn't know if this was going to be able to happen. And now it is getting a little rolly out here. There's a little bit, probably a 5 to 10 knot breeze. But this is much more common than those crazy seas that I had yesterday. It's so calm out on the inside passage, whether that be because the areas are so protected or because it just generally is pretty calm here. In the winter it all totally changes, and going out on the water, whether it be on a kayak is almost suicide, but even on a boat is quite crazy. But in the summer here you can cruise around for weeks at a time and never encounter really much bad weather. I am looking at a whole bunch of really cool birds right now, but we'll see if any of them let us get close enough to them. If anybody at any point has any questions, I can see my phone and can see typing and who's in here and any questions you might have. So please feel free to type them to me. If anybody wants to join me on live and is doing something cool, that is also possible. Although I'm not sure how amazing my internet is going to be out here the whole time. That's the other really nice thing about Southeast Alaska is it's a series of islands, but because so much of it is uninterrupted, you actually like get reception pretty much everywhere. Which again, not like super crucial. It's not really something I care about all that much, but it is really nice in certain instances. Now let's see what the heck that is. I'm gonna wait up, and so my actual camera is in the other boat right now. But we're almost at the spot I wanted to be to kind of focus this tour around. and we're only 10 minutes in, so I'm pretty happy about time here. I'm sorry I was a little bit late. Had to walk the boats about a half mile down towards shore. Not a half mile. I'm sure it was nowhere near a half mile, but had to walk them down shore a lot because of the low tide. You know, you talk about like a -5 tide, and what does that actually mean? Well, obviously, it's 5 feet below what's called mean low tide, or mean low tide, which is the mean tide from the lowest days across the world averaged, or across your ocean averaged. And so we get huge tidal swings, but -5 feet doesn't mean that there's 5 feet more beach. It means there's probably more like, 400 feet more beach, but it's 5 feet now below the sea level. Hey Carrie, you see these long-necked birds with the pointy beaks? There's a couple of them around. I was gonna grab my camera from you and see if I could figure out what they are. We got to Shaman Island really quick though. That's like a super easy paddle out from False Outer.
Yeah, it would have been crazy yesterday though.
Yeah, I mean even now there's like this nice little calm slow roller, but it's not bad at all. What's up, Chris? It's nice to see you all here. No, I'm not pausing. I'm just, I was just turning the camera around. But I was gonna grab my other camera from you. It's working out pretty stable and good. Oh, I can just draw stroke to you. Thanks, love. Okay, now you kind of have to push off. Thanks. Because I had to put this in like... Okay, so I have my camera now. Also, you can stay as close as you want. I know you're just paddling around. It's a log, not like a school of ducks, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a little school of ducks? Yeah. Yeah. What is the temperature? It is so warm. It's 70, well, I think the height of it is 74.
Yeah.
And right now it's probably like 60?
I don't know.
I mean, it's warm enough where I'm in short sleeves and already hot, and
Carrie's not dying.
Carrie's not dying. I don't know, like 51. Well, it does not feel like 51 though.
Yeah, but it's not.
You're right, it's not like super warm yet.
No.
It's also, you have to remember, it's 9:20 here, so no, it has been a really warm week, but we are getting like more fluctuations, which is also atypical. So Southeast Alaska is the largest temperate rainforest in the world, specifically the Tongass National Forest, and we typically don't get huge temperature swings from day to night. As a matter of fact, it can just be like pretty much the same temperature day and night, but we're supposed to get like to the 40s or something tonight, and it's supposed to be 74 today. Super atypical, but nonetheless, it's not like the hottest it's ever been. Last year was the hottest summer we've ever had though, like across the entire state. It was stupidly warm to the point where like on the boat it was almost intolerable, even though you're in Alaska. A lot of it is because the things here aren't designed around, airflow and stuff like that. Because usually you don't need AC. Okay. Right now we are experiencing the bore waves. So, Carrie, I don't know if you know this. This is bore wave right now. So this is the tide switching, and we're getting like these rollers that are pretty cool, but they're just like steady rollers. That's why I'll switch the camera around again as we get to the back of this island here. But that's why we're getting like these steady, not really chopped, just like these long rollers. Yes, there is a ton of skiing. As a matter of fact, I'd say the skiing right now is some of the better skiing of the entire year. We saw somebody drop into Mount Juneau, which is a mountain in town here, and down like some really sketchy stuff, but there's also a lot of really cool little cornices and like ridgeline areas to hit. And then at our ski resort itself, we've still got like 80 inches of base up top. So we had like a 420 inch year this year, and steady cold temperatures, which is what we need even more so. And so we have a ton of snow, and a lot of people here, myself included, except for the year I was working on the boat, try to ski once a month all year. And I have parents of friends and friends themselves who have like 90-month streaks going. I think the longest I had was like a 20. This boar wave is fun. It's just like nice. Doesn't that look like an otter out there?
I think it is. That's what I was thinking.
You think that's an otter? It does look like its feet are out like an otter. Let's go see. Hi, Lars. I miss you, Mr. Lars. Oh, my camera won't turn. So we think we see an otter. What? It definitely could be a log. It definitely could be a log otter. There's lots of like log whales and log otters and a lot of log bears. Lots and lots of log bears. When you're cruising like on a boat, it's just log bears everywhere. You think you see a bear like every 20 seconds, and yeah, no. But you can see I'm rocking. These waves are actually like a blast. I think it is a log otter, but it's also kind of floating in the direction we need to go, so thanks everybody for tuning in, by the way. This is pretty cool. I would love to do more stuff like this. Unfortunately, I didn't think about it really in time to capitalize, but I'm gonna also try to live stream. Oh, it's definitely a log. A lot of my drive up through the Alcan, so that could be pretty cool too. Woohoo!
We can name it Fred.
What?
We'll name it Fred.
Yeah, it's Fred the log otter. That's probably the piece of wood we were burning last night. But we're right by the head of Shaman Island now, so now you can really get around the backside of her. But I bet you will be able to, I bet we'll be able to see like a lot of intertidal stuff just right from the kayaks.
Ambergris.
Ambergris? If that was ambergris, we would be so stoked.
It's not. It's a log.
That would be like $1 million chunk of ambergris.
Hey, whale puke.
I don't know if you guys know about ambergris, but ambergris is ingredient in a lot of like perfumes and stuff. And oh, there's another one. The terns are starting their migration right now.
Yeah.
And so I've seen them flying down the channel, and I'm just like, are you guys lost? But yeah, the Arctic terns are starting their migration like right now.
Yeah.
It's really cool. They're like my favorite birds. But ambergris is literally like regurgitated whale puke. And I don't know why the hell it's in like all of the perfumes and stuff like that. There's a lot of birds out there. But you can find it like on the shorelines and stuff, and it smells god awful. But I guess when they process it or do whatever they do with it, it smells better. But that's what I was saying. If that was a piece of ambergris, we'd be very excited. Switch this guy around. Thanks, Marissa. It's a blast out here. You and Lars is almost old enough to kayak. Get him a little holster, not holster, harness. Yeah. Well, you could kayak around like the wetlands and then like, I don't know. Oh, there's a bunch of seabirds on the backside of this rock. You see them? So if I ever go silent for a little bit at a time, it's probably because I'm trying to sneak up on something without disturbing it. So don't worry about that. Oh my gosh, these waves are like really coming in. Yeah, this is a really cool vantage point for sure. Mine. Yeah, I saw them. They're scoters, black scoters. Scoting, yep. Scoting on away. They're so cute with their little fake eye though. Yeah, but I feel like through the camera on like a phone, like nobody can see that little like speck. They're so fat. Fat birds. Yeah, this is a huge kelp bed. So this is bull kelp. It's a bunch of bull. We're right on the cusp between bull kelp and giant kelp. So you do sometimes see giant kelp here too. But bull kelp, this stuff has... Oh, there's no like bulbs.
There's some over here.
Because it's all alive.
Yeah. There's some a little bit further up.
Ooh, get it. There's pink goop all over these rocks. But anyways, this kelp is giant. But it's not giant kelp. My God. It is just unbelievably beautiful today. So these rocks are so full of kelp and stuff, we're not going to be able to see much on them. But these rocks on the backside of the island over here, ooh. Whoa! Holy crap! Come here, sweetheart! Alright. This is kind of crazy. It's like a giant cluster of... See if I can find them again. Hopefully I can. Oh yeah, there they are. Alright. Look at all these guys. Giant cluster. Some urchins. No, but I found this huge cluster of they're just like snails, but they're pretty cool. So they're right here, you see them? It's like a million of them just on top of each other.
Wow. That's a snail party right there.
It is a snail party. Big old snail party. There's a big fat anemone right here too. I'm gonna poke it. Oh, there's a million snails in this little crack here. But I want to go to the back side and see some more bare rocks. Man, even at this tide, like there's so many rocks that are almost exposed. Yeah. Oh. All right. Sorry, that was just a little aside. A scarter. A sure scorer. There were some merlets over there too. There's a couple more. This tide wave is like pretty hilarious. It's just like the longest wave ever. So I think that one of my favorite things about kayaking out here, and one of my favorite things about my job last summer, was on all these little random beaches everywhere. There's so much life that you would never ever see except from a kayak, or unless you knew what you were looking for. And that's a lot of that is what I try to give back in my tours, is educating in a way where you're now literally experiencing new things, even if it's the smallest little thing you've ever seen in your life. You're experiencing new things that you've never been aware of before. And I think that's all what Alaska is about. Oh my gosh, so many stars. Millions of stars. I'll flip the camera around. It's kind of crazy in through here. It's going to be hard to control the camera and, well, I might be able to get out of my kayak actually. One sec. Let's see if I can't get out and show you this. Maybe I won't try to get out. I was going to try to get out, but no, it's okay. It's going to be a pain because it's so rocky in through here. Ugh. Oh God. Oh, on that point there? That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to like wedge myself in here, brace myself somehow, and then turn the camera around without getting everything soaking wet. But, ooh, okay. So, the ton of sea stars in through here. Pretty big guys. One of the interesting things that kind of stinks about sea stars is the sea star wasting disease. Whoa! Whoa! Look at that guy! Oh, it's so hard to see with the waves. I don't know if you can see him. Do you see it? Okay, right there, like by 3/4 bow.
Oh, holy crap!
Isn't he weird? He's got all sorts of stuff on him though. That's a crescent star. Or maybe it's a sun star. A lot of stars up on that rock right there too. Okay.
Don't go that way, there's a lot of
Okay. The water feels so nice. We gotta go around the backside. That is a crazy cool crescent star though.
Yeah.
I kind of want to poke it.
Do it.
It's hard with the kayak though. Okay, so we're gonna go around back. I hope you guys are able to see it. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to run into you. So I hope you guys can see at least some of the stuff that I'm trying to show. That's kind of one of the hard things, is I have better cameras. I have GoPros and, you know, like better recording devices, but they can't broadcast like this. Whoa! Up! Hit a rock. Let's hope Sunny Cove isn't watching. That's my employer for next year. I'm just kidding. I just hit a wave came up and hit a little nudge. Lots of them. Oh, there's a ton of sea stars in there too. Holy moly, yeah. Thing is just like infested. So, I don't know if you guys can see those. Let's see if I can't get nudged in there a little better. Oh my God, that's like so many sea stars. Oh, so I've started this story like 5 times, but I don't think I ever finished it. Almost all of the sea stars died last year and the year before from a disease called sea star wasting. And sea stars are super important. There, you can see them because we're in the shade now. At least I hope you can. But Sea star wasting is like a virus that infects them and then kills them really quickly. It is really bad because they're keystone species on the intertidal areas. So without the sea stars, the mussels actually just take everything out. And so that's kind of what was happening, and all the biodiversity was going down. And now they're starting to recover a little bit. Geez, there's just so many of them out here. It's pretty cool. So it's exciting to see them. I wish the anemones were like opened up, but yeah, they're like sagging down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that pile. They're all pretty small sea stars, so they're pretty young.
Yeah, I think they're super small.
No,
But yeah.
there's another pile up there.
Oh, look at that little
Yeah.
in there. I bet we could easily get out in there.
Yeah.
It's just a little too rough. If it was a little bit less rough, I would be super okay with getting out. And it's not that it's...
Well, we're going to the can, and then we walk around at Shaman Island. If you decide.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, we can also just keep kayaking out, like the direction we're going. It's not like we've been kayaking hard and we've still gotten pretty far. Oh, let's go in here. This what? Yeah, just a lot more sea stars and stuff in here. But yeah, it's cool. Oh, look at that. That's pretty crazy in there. So yeah. Oh no, the sun. Oh, that's a shame. See, I can't zoom. Yeah, you gotta see them. There's a ton of them right there. Oh God, am I zoomed back out or am I still zoomed in? I think I'm zoomed out. Let's just keep kayaking. The other day we saw some super baby sea stars, like maybe a day old. They were about a quarter of the size of my fingernail. That's how small they were. But absolutely beautiful, cool little guys. Never seen anything that small. We had just turned over a rock and they were all on there. It was just magnificent. So of course I ordered a whole bunch of stuff for this summer because I'm kayak riding this summer. And then I got the idea about this. And that is going to come like in 2 days. So maybe if I do another one of these, I'll have my new gear. I do have my new PFD. This bad boy right here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's so hard to express how cool it is to be out here and see all this life in an area like this. And it seems kind of weird on a video. You tour up here, especially if you're doing some sort of small cruise or something like that, ask about all the intertidal life. You'll find somebody who's probably pretty passionate about it, but doesn't get to speak a lot because it's not an orca or a whale or something, that everybody comes up here to see. And they'll be, I'm sure, happy to take you on some of these beaches and some of these cool areas. And show you all the cool biodiversity on these rocks and in these intertidal areas. There's another cool one. Oh no, never mind. So. So this island is, a lot of it is covered. These rocks we're looking at right now are definitely covered. The whole land bridge, which we'll go to the other side and I'll try to show you the land bridge closer. But the whole land bridge over here is covered. So this island is an island at anything except super low tides, which is what we have right now. Which is also why there's so many people. You see those giant anemones over there? We're gonna go towards that. But that's also why there's so many people out here. Ooh, that sea star pile. Holy moly. Yeah. You see those anemones right behind you? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna take my camera out actually, and I could poke a lot. One sec. Let's see if I can't turn you around. Oh man, the sun's just so bright. But there's all these big piles of stars everywhere up in here. So you're gonna try to take some personal photos because this one pile is really neat. That's a skill. Sorry, taking photos. Gonna try not to take a long time. So, I'll turn it around. Taking photos while in a kayak is a learned skill. Taking breaching whale photos while they're moving super fast across things and getting things in focus and on a kayak when the waves are hitting you, even if it's calm, you've always got some sort of ebb and flow. It is something that took a long time to get used to. Do you want my camera? You sure? I mean, I don't care. I'll take my own photos, but I didn't know if there would be things you want to take photos of. You gotta see this pile of anemones over here. Oh, this one's like partially open. That's kind of cool. Oh, he's huge. Ooh, this is so cool. And even like on the other side of all of this seagrass is all anemone piles. It's just when it's underwater, it obviously, that grass is standing up. And so it creates like a little kelp bed, and then the anemones live in that. But now, since it's sitting down and it's below tide, they're just kind of hiding behind there, which is cool. Vicky, I promise I'll get over to the spot I initially was trying to show you with the land bridge, but this is just, I get distracted so easily out here. I actually have never kayaked around the backside of this island, so I've been all the way around here, but I wanted to do a kayak, especially since I was summer and I had been like 7 months. Got tide or waves going like 4 different and so I wanted to get out in a kayak, and I've been trying to get out as much as possible. If it's beautiful like this, it's pretty easy to find an excuse. I mean, right now I don't have work. My work for the summer is starting late, and my work for the winter ended early because of COVID. And so, yeah. Oh wow, look at all those guys in there. This is the area we were the other time when we were on land. It wasn't like this though, it wasn't this low.
You were up there,
yeah.
looking down.
That's so cool. Look at all of them in there.
I know.
I wonder if we could just get in there a little bit.
Probably really could.
I just need the tide to be like a foot taller. I'm not really like set on getting out as much as just like, yeah, I wanna show the land bridge, but then I'd be down to like go around that point right there. What'd you say?
You're really close to the land bridge.
Yeah. I need to get away from this rock. These waves are going like 4 different directions. Okay, so yeah, there's a ton of people. Oh, that's shoot, I know a bunch of people out there. So I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see this, because it's big. All right. There's so many people, crazy. Okay, so that is the island. This is all underwater. That's a land bridge. And then that is finally the shore over that way. So this island is truly an island, but is super accessible via this land bridge at certain tides, but only at those tides. And that's why there's like 10 million people out here. There's also a ton of clamming and stuff like that out here. So you do see a lot of people with buckets and clam stuff. We did that, what, 3 weekends ago? We went clamming. Ooh, eiders. Those are common eiders. But yeah, it's a really nice spot to go. But there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I think this is the most people I've ever seen out here.
Yeah. And if anybody is curious, we have no COVID cases here for the last 28 days now, and we're allowed to be congregating. So no, none of this is protesting people. This is all just okay here because we live in such a remote place that we don't really have to take the same precautions as everybody else.
People are so cautious.
Yeah, people have been respectful and cautious. Like, none of those families are, close to anybody else or anything like that. People have been good, but none of that is, what you're seeing is any sort of disrespect or anything like that. So,
Have you found this view?
yeah, I've got the camera. I don't have it facing out anymore. Hey, Lauren. Lauren, are you gonna get seasick just watching this on my kayak? I hope not. These waves are like perfect. You just fall asleep, get rocked to sleep.
They're so lovely.
You just end up wherever.
Like a whale. Rip.
Yeah, like a otter.
Oh yeah. Let's tie each other together.
Lauren, I was talking to your parents a little while ago and just trying to tell them things to tell you. I mean, those big boats especially have so many gyros, and unless you hit, like, this is what the water is usually like. I said it earlier, but like, this water is calm, and this is typical for out here. I mean, you're seeing a little bit of rock right now in the kayak, but you would never feel that in a boat, especially those cruise boats. And they're cool. I mean, the technology they've put towards making those things barely feel like a boat is incredible. But anyways, that actually brings up a good point, though. A lot of people in Southeast Alaska hey, Uncle Alan, are conflicted as to how to feel about the big boats. I personally, so a lot of my work, my career kind of revolves around those big boats. Not entirely. That's why I still have work this summer, is because my trade can kind of be shared between a lot of different types of tourism and adventurism. But the environmental impact of those boats is undeniably massive. And so whether it be direct impacts like literally hitting whales and dumping waste and stuff like that, or indirect impacts of, impacting changes with sea mammals and stuff like that they kind of just have to like be aware of you and things like that. There's a lot of different factors to it. But, the one thing that I always say to people is, one, we wouldn't be here. A lot of Alaskans wouldn't be here. There's a lot of birds out this way. We're going to try to look at these guys, but wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the cruise industry. This is like an oil state. Everybody knows that. Oil and mining make up a good 60-70% of our GDP, but a huge portion, especially as we grow uncertain about not just the availability, but the necessity of those kinds of resources. A huge portion of people and of the sector here is going into tourism because it is such a wonderful place, and now it's so freaking warm. Look at that. Super pregnant. Super pregnant. Yeah, there's a bunch of ravens out here.
Are they ravens?
Yeah. Look at all the birds on the other side here, though. I want to try to look at those guys. But anyways, to quickly finish this. What'd you say?
The seal behind me.
Oh, there's a seal behind you?
Yeah, sea lion behind me.
Is that no matter what, the cruise ships, oh, they are crows. The cruise ships allow for people to see this amazing, wonderful place that would never have been able to see it before. And if those people are impacted in a way by the beauty, the majority, it's not going to kind of trickle down like this. But if they go home and think about their environmental responsibility, and it makes any sort of change in people, and they hear about the environmental impacts and the changes up here of late, then that's a good thing. And I don't think that it's right to think that the only way a lot of people can afford to get up here is on a cruise ship. You see the seal again?
Yeah.
And so if that's the only way you can afford to get up here, I fully support anybody getting up here on a big boat, even though they are kind of environmentally questionable. You see them? Oh, that was a sneeze? I thought you went there. Lucas, I'm gonna try to find some more birds. It's just so hard on this on the phone. There's a huge flock of birds behind me, but we think we see a seal hanging out in the water right in front of us here. So I'm hoping he comes up pretty soon. Otherwise, we'll just kind of give him the slip here. But yeah, if you, I think small cruises and the availability of small cruises is great. I would not suggest going with the company that I worked for last summer. And if you do want to do a small cruise or any cruise in general, seriously, anybody wants to come here under any capacity at all, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help in any way I can. I love setting things like that up. I love giving people a better experience because they had some insider information or something like that. I would love to do that for you. So, two of them. I hope you're being sarcastic. Okay, let's try to get some more birdos. Yeah, I don't know where that seal went. I don't know where the seal went. They can only stay down for like 90 seconds. I don't have any seal bombs. So maybe Matt yeah, you should. It is incredible here. You've known that for a long time, Abby. Jesus. But oh no, the big flock of birds is floating away. But a lot of the birds that you see out here, from like the distance that you're gonna see them, first of all, just beautiful. Anyways, from the distance you're gonna see them on this phone. Unfortunately, they're just gonna look like black seabirds. Pigeon guillemot are a really cool little one. You don't see many of them. Unfortunately, that's kind of the downside of not being here. But I don't know. I thought this would be a really good idea to kind of just show people what a really casual tour out here would be like. You know, we do a lot of like glacier tours. We do a lot of like hardcore adventuring, skiing in the summer and heli skiing and mushing, which the mushing tours tend not to be. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lucas. I wish you could see these birds. They are flying all over and they're pretty beautiful. They just fly so fast over. Oh, the whole flock just went over us. The whole flock just went over us. Well, there's a couple out there still, but well, I was wondering if they would be...
Yeah, there's definitely a couple sea lions.
Out by the birds?
Huh?
Out by the birds?
Yeah, so there's 2 birds out there.
We can go look at them.
Yeah.
Are they seals or sea lions?
Sea lions, I think.
Cool.
It looks
So
like they have more of a pointed nose.
now we're gonna go try to find some sea lions. But you could kayak out here for freaking ever. I mean, it's just unbelievably beautiful out here. This tide switch is so funny. It's been going on for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Tired time.
Thank God it's not like a little bit more dramatic, and it would be kind of a pain.
Yeah, it would be. Everyone's seasick.
Yeah. Well, my cousin's on here, and she gets seasick very easily. And that's why they haven't come up. So I told her if she starts to get seasick to get off. But yeah, let's
I haven't seen them in a bit, so I'm not sure.
I'm surprised there's no like haul out anywhere out here.
No, but what's over here?
There's too many people, but you know those like 2 little marker, like the buoys out by False Outer?
Yeah.
I'm always surprised that there's not sea lions hanging out on those. I think so, but they don't care. They're on like the bells coming north off Favorite Channel, like around the north side of Admiralty.
Ooh, hey, that's pretty close.
Lucas, you are always welcome to come visit. There's a lot of people who I can see living in Alaska. There's a lot of people who I can see not being happy in Alaska. It's obviously a really different change, different lifestyle, different values is a big thing. Even, you know, beyond just the fact that like, there's a seal. Is that a seal? Yeah, it's probably like a half mile away. But yeah, I've got a couple of friends who I can 100% see loving it out here. You want to go into this little cove right here? I don't know what so these must be like the power line rocks now towards where we're getting. You start seeing those big triangles by the power lines, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we're
I think it's past this one little cove here.
And there was a nice little sandy beach we could pull out on over there. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to go further. It might be that next cove.
It doesn't really matter. I wasn't like trying to get to it, but one thing I really do miss and will miss is I really miss kayaking by glaciers, and going up to glaciers and kayaking in those areas is just so magnificent. It's really moving, especially hearing them talk and calve and do other stuff. It's just really incredible. These waves in here are going. The waves like by the shore are really going. So anything else people want to know? I mean, I've got lots of stuff to talk about still, and I'm going to keep kayaking and going out, but it's really, you know, I want to do one of these on the glacier with like a hike out to Mendenhall Glacier, but yeah, there's a lot of red-winged blackbirds in Wisconsin where I used to live, like all over the place. They're like pigeons out there. The cool one, so yesterday I saw a pileated kingfisher, and I can send you guys some photos of that. He's really cool. He so like they are really good hunters, and do that whole like cool little dive into the water, the fish, and then come out. And then let's see, we saw a bunch of red-headed sapsuckers and some other really cool stuff. Water temperature, I don't know, it's probably about 50, 48-ish. Even in the middle of summer, water rarely gets above 62. The salmon need it to be 56 degrees to start spawning. And so that water temperature change actually is what tells the salmon to come up here and start laying its egg. When it was so hot, that was a big problem because salmon never got that trigger because it happened so quickly. But normally they wait for that water temperature rise to happen, the streams. But near glaciers is exactly 32 degrees, sometimes about 31 degrees. So that's always fun to swim in. I think I did 20-ish, 25-ish polar plunges last year, right up at the it's always a blast. It's something that most people coming up here is swimming that glacial water. I don't know, it's just a cool experience. You obviously, you know, you can in the lakes of Lake Michigan and the frozen lakes in New York and, you know, wherever in the north, but it's a little different when you're out here right next to a glacier, at the quarter-mile mark of a glacier. So, but yeah, red-winged blackbirds are even like in Maryland and DC, a lot of red-winged blackbirds as well. So I'm gonna try to go silent here. There's some birds. There's a bald eagle somewhere clacking about, but there's some cool birds sitting on the shore right here, so I'm going to try to get close to them without disturbing them. So let's see. They're harlequins. so I got some photos. I'm gonna try to show you guys now. There's some harlequin ducks. Where'd they go? Let's see. Lucas, being on a glacier is incredible. I was a glacier guide for a while, and just being out on the glaciers. Oh, they flew away! No! So what I was trying to say before, softly, was those were harlequin. Oops, sorry about that. That's a new one for you for sure. They're really beautiful. You should look them up. They're incredibly pretty bird, and actually they're still kind of in sight, so I'm gonna go back towards them. But being on a glacier is incredible. Just the feeling of almost like being a part of history like that, because they're so old and so magnificent. You can't even imagine the scale of how big a glacier is. There's a whole gang of harlequins. Carrie, these are all harlequins. Ooh. I'm surprised my phone hasn't run out of battery, honestly. The sun here. They're definitely running away from me, but they're so cute.